the community was right and the police were wrong. They kept saying there was a serial killer. There was somebody harassing, assaulting, and killing Black women. Law enforcement said, no, you have it wrong. There's no issue of a serial killer here killing Black women. These are unrelated criminal actions. Put up the picture of the man who has now been arrested and charged. Weeks after the Kansas City Police Department dismissed initial reports of a potential serial killer as, and I quote, completely unfounded. That's what they said. They said it's completely unfounded that these crimes are happening because of a serial killer. A 22-year-old Black woman escaped from said potential killer. 39-year-old Timothy Haslett was charged with first-degree rape, first-degree kidnapping, and second-degree assault on October 7th. The now ongoing investigation into the potential series of kidnapping and assaults by Haslett is expected to take days, possibly weeks, to complete. According to the Kansas City Defender, the bombshell multi-county investigation began Friday, October 7th, when a 22-year-old Black woman escaped bondage after being kidnapped, sexually assaulted, held captive in the basement of Haslett. The woman was discovered around 8 a.m. that Friday when reports of a woman banging on the doors and crying for help reportedly reached the police. The young woman will only be identified by her initials, TJ. According to the Clay County prosecutor, probable cause statement, TJ reported that, and I quote, Timothy had kept her in a small room in the basement that he built, kept her restrained in handcuffs on her wrists and ankles. In addition, Haslett whipped her while she was restrained. There were injuries on her back that were consistent with this description. Court documents further say she was able to get free when he left to take his child to school. There's more. The official court documents also read, upon the police officer's arrival at the residence, they found TJ, she was wearing latex lingerie and had a metal collar around her neck with a padlock and duct tape around her neck. TJ advised that a man by the name of Timothy picked her up on Prospect in Kansas City at the beginning of September 2022. Now remember, they're saying no issue here. These crimes are not connected. You don't have an issue with a serial killer. No, unfounded. Unfounded, which allowed him to not have the right profile, thus not the right emphasis in the investigation, and he continued to assault that community of Black women in particular. Let's go to the local resident. Her name is Sierra. Okay. Local resident Sierra Tharp's grandmother provided the young woman food and a blanket after bringing her inside of the home. Tharp told the Citizen, quote, and I quote, she made the comment about her friends that they didn't make it and that he had killed them. That's what she said. I'm really hoping they find evidence about her friends. If anything, she can have closure about her friends. I just hope they can find everything they need to. Let me bring up the Black male. In mid to late September, see this brother, that's Bishop Tony Caldwell, okay? Bishop Caldwell is a local Kansas City community leader. That bishop that you're looking at made reports of numerous murdered and missing Black women and specifically identified that they were being taken from an area on Prospect Avenue in Kansas City. He's the man that actually cracked the case and the police would not listen to him. You know why he cracked the case? You know why he knew it was happening? You know why the bishop had that information? Because he works in the community, he listens to the community, and he believes the community that he serves. That's all it took. And he put the dots together. The police did not, because they did not believe the community. They did not listen to the community, and they don't work with the community. The bishop does. In the time the police dismissed these claims, the Kansas City Police Department made a statement addressing the community testimonies and called them, and I quote, completely unfounded rumors. That's what they called the bishop and his sentiment about black women being taken away in that community. Unfounded rumors. Dismissing the concerns. The local news outlets followed suit, in essence, silencing any ongoing community voices which maintain concern of the missing black women. And let me say this, because I researched and I saw this, to the local news journalists who decided to adopt without rebuttal, without question, without opposite commentary, what the police told you to say. Shame on you. Shame on you. At least have the other side of the story in the damn reporting. Because of that, this man was allowed to continue without even being a target of the investigation, because no one listened after you all in local media said there's nothing to see here. You bear some responsibility too. In response to the new development, the department issued a statement defending their dismissal. They said, and I quote, "We base our investigations on police incident reports of criminal activity. We do still maintain that there is no indication that what you guys reported was accurate. And there was no indication that there was anything that supported that claim. They're still trying to defend themselves." The statement further quoted, "We share what information we can publicly, many times from the scene of incidents of violent crimes when there's a report or an investigation underway. There had and has not been anything that corresponded to our reports on social media and the web, which is why we refuted that report and said that the claims were unfounded." Who's the interim chief? Put him up, okay? The interim chief is Joseph Mabin, right? Joseph, you got a job to do, sir. You are already horribly failing at it by allowing this kind of statement to even be issued. Now I know you're not the person they want there, I know that, but you're the person they got. If you are a leader, I don't care if you are a leader just for 20 hours in that department, act like one. Okay, being systemic racism, prejudice, it leads to what? It's a ripple effect that adversely impacts everybody in the community regardless of skin tone. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, the reality is that's really important. A lot of people will point to this and say, this is the police not doing their job, and they're right. But it goes a layer deeper than this, because who do serial killers target? That's right. Serial killers target the same people that police departments target. Serial killers specifically and intentionally go after the people that they know the institutions like the police will categorically dismiss and deny. That people will hear stories from members of the community, and that these police departments, these media outlets will by definition not trust them. That is who these serial killers target. It is the systemic violence from the police that creates and facilitates the environment that these serial killers thrive in. That fundamentally, I mean, let's be real, that community, those people would literally have been safer had there been no police and the community responded by themselves. Now, to be clear, vigilantism is a terrible, terrible, terrible solution and should not be the system. But the fact that this guy got away with what he was doing for so long was not just because the police weren't doing their job. It's because the police were providing active cover for him. And one of the most callous, like harsh reasons behind this is because, look, arresting random innocent people for traffic violations is easy. Investigating murders is hard. And when you have a bloated police department with a ton of people running around, they're gonna choose to do the easy thing and they're gonna avoid doing the hard thing, even if that means sitting back and watching as people die and people in the community are begging for your assistance. Fundamentally, our system is just completely broken.
Well said, well said.